All right, welcome back to the channel, boys. For everybody who is new here, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on post notifications. We're going to jump right into today's video that it's going to be one of my favorite videos due to the fact that this is my favorite setup. This is one of the trades that we caught actually on live stream today. And we used our Ripple Fib setup to be able to identify the market structure and successfully catch this trade. So what is a Ripple Fib? A Ripple Fib is basically when we have one level of resistance, or it could be a level of support, right? This works vice versa. And it is followed up by one level of resistance, and it's followed up by ascending levels of support, right? That all share the same level of resistance. What does that mean? Ascending levels of support levels are getting higher, and all these support levels share the same resistance level, which is obviously the, this major level right here of resistance. So it doesn't always have to be picture perfect, but today I'm going to erase everything from the chart. Yes, remove. We were looking at gold. Gold has been on a very strong bullish rally, right? So one, we were already very strongly bullish, very strong, easy indicator for us, very strong signal for us to be looking for buys. And price was ranging right here, and we could identify that these are all little continuation candlesticks, right? And we are also, another confirmation, riding above the 8 SMA. So when it comes down to that, we were looking at the smaller time frames, right? Let me erase everything. And it doesn't look picture perfect here, but we start going into the 15-minute time frame. We start, kind of stretching out the chart a little bit. And we started identifying the fact that, yeah, there is a major level right here where price is rejecting. And so from there, we throw our resistance level, and we're like, all right, big range level here, right? We got to imagine that price was not exploded here, right? Price didn't explode. And we could see that price was bouncing around, which makes it very hard. Nonetheless, we were forming higher levels of support, right? So our support level, got higher here. After that, support level got higher here, got higher here, got higher here. And these are all 15-minute candlesticks. So within a time frame, every 30 minutes, we would make a new high. Yes, price was bouncing around. It was going down. It was going up. It was going down. It was really faking out the people that are kind of scalping the market, trying to catch the next 5-minute candlestick, whether it's going to go up or down. What we do on our channel is kind of zoom out and try to see what the next 4-hour candlestick is actually going to do. If we answer every single time, what is this next 4-hour candlestick going to do? We have a great possibility of actually catching a correct move without getting stopped out. A lot of times people do get the bias correct, but they still get stopped out. So the question that everyone is asking is, how do we, once identifying this Ripple Fib, hop into the trade? Like, when is it a good time to be able to hop into this trade? Well, what I want to say about that is, first of all, just because we have a major level of resistance does not mean that we need to be selling it, right? Especially if we're zooming out and we see that we just keep on breaking new highs, and I mean, on the hourly time frame, these are all continuation candlesticks. But how do we identify, or how do we set up a trade for this, right? What we'd want to do once identifying that we are Ripple fibbing, one is wait for price to start accumulating itself very close to resistance. That's this area right here, right? Since this low was already created, we're expecting another low, but at a higher level. And we see that price does not have much space here, right? So we start getting a range in this area. That is when volume starts building up. So anytime that price is just moving sideways at a strong level of resistance, right? This is what I consider moving sideways. We're literally just ranging here. That's the correction. An impulse correction doesn't have to be impulse, correction to the downside, impulse. A correction also could be impulse, sideways movement, impulse, right? So therefore, that correction phase right here is where it was a good way. I'm not even sure exactly where I hopped into this trade, but I mean, this was 30-minute time frame wise, still respecting the 8 SMA, right? 30-minute candlestick closures are all above our 8 SMA. So anytime between this 30-minute time frame, I mean, they could have been this one, this one, this one. We had a 2-hour period where even at these levels of resistance, this trade is really well, right? We typically always throw our 10 pip stop losses on gold, 10 points. What would 10 points be? That's a 308 entry. So a stop loss would be all the way at 198. Would have this gotten stopped out? Well, yes, it would have. It would have been too short of a stop loss. It would have been too early into the trade. So best potential way to actually set these trades and not get stopped out is, imagine we were hopping in very early all the way over here. We always want to make sure that we look for our last support level right here, right? So imagine we were hopping into this trade and we didn't even know the price was going to start falling. We always want to look for this last support level and be beneath it, right? Whether that's 10 pips beneath it, whether that's 5 pips beneath it, you always want to give the chance for that support level that we're looking at right there, for there to be a bounce off of it. Or sometimes what happens in a Ripple Fib is that we have a strong level of resistance, right? We have the Ripple Fib being formed. and out of nowhere we break this low. What does that mean? Imagine if we were to come down and break this low, and then we end up recovering. So just because of that, we look for previous low and we put stop losses beneath it. Obviously, you could still get stopped out. This is just a probability. Trades all have a probability of hitting, and therefore we look for market structures that give us high probabilities of being able to hit the trade. And that is followed up by risk management and obviously correct stop loss placement. Anything like this would have been a banger trade. I mean, you would have hit your 101. A lot of people just really just throw way too high leveraged trades where their stop losses are way too short. They end up getting the bias correct for the day, but they end up losing about 4 to 5 times. So biggest point I want you to get out of this video is make sure you guys are using correct sized stop losses and start identifying these ripple fibs. I mean, we had another one on live stream today that was this EU trade, right? You don't really see it picture perfect right now, but if we were to go and zoom into the time frames, right, we did have this strong level of resistance right here. So most important things I want you guys to learn out of these videos is, one, how to identify ripple fibs and use them to the best of your ability. They get formed on all time frames, whether they're higher time frames, lower time frames. Another thing I want you guys to learn is how to place stop losses correctly. Stop losses need to have a purpose. People throw stop losses like according to a random number saying, oh, I think 15 pips is a good stop loss. No. A good stop loss is where you actually choose where you think price will not hit. And if it hits that level, that means that your trade is invalid and that your bias was wrong. If your stop loss does not identify those factors I just said, then it's not a correct stop loss. You're not in a valid trade. So, boys, if you guys want more educational videos, just make sure you guys subscribe to our channel. We stream daily, catch trades live daily. Win or lose with me, I will be on live stream daily. Make sure you guys tune into the streams. See you later, boys. Peace.